whoever may be on early. It's a little unusual, I know, but you know what the heck. Let's start a little bit early. So we can get a few more people in before we actually get going. Take care of the old pleasantries, as they like to say, a little bit sooner. All right, so as you can see from the scroll there, the stuffed chicken won out. Mr. TJ Jones, a little too late on the vote there, my friend. Mr. Big Houston, how you doing, sir? So, we're starting just a tad bit early. Let me turn on the extra light here. There we go. There you go. Now you can see my ugly mug. All right, so dinner's already been decided. The votes are in. So we're going to be doing the stuffed chicken with some egg noodle and a side salad. So we're going to be doing that for dinner tonight. All right, so one problem has occurred, which I don't know how it occurred, but it did. We are missing the spinach. We bought spinach yesterday on our way down here to Albuquerque from Pueblo, Colorado. We stopped in Trinidad, Colorado on I-25, exit 11. Parked at the Walmart, went and did our shopping. Spent $140 on food and other stuff, cleaning stuff. So I was able to find some of these. So I grabbed 5 little tubs of that. But I figured we start a little bit earlier and we go through kind of our mise en place, or what we're doing here. So we're going to pan down here a little bit. So everything you see here is what we got. So we're going to be using the panini maker, panini grill. Got some extra plates here to move things around on. Iceberg lettuce for our salad. Hot plate. As soon as I can there, Houston. I'm going to do that when I get off of StreamYard. There's a lot of people I would like to make a wrench. All right, so pair of tongs, good old kitchen knife. Got some cucumber, bit of green onion. We got some that's been around for an extra day or so. Plus we got some extra fresh. Got some celery. We have a couple different types of dressing. I have Italian, so that's what I'm going to use. We also have ranch, I believe. Not my speed, but there you go. A little bit of Parmesan cheese on that, which we still got in the refrigerator. We want to keep that a little bit cooler for the right now. So we got a little bit of bacon. We got 2 chicken breasts here. This is basically 1.6 pounds, roughly. So we're going to be cooking those up. We got our egg noodles, a bit of butter, a bit of goat cheese for the chicken, and the butter is going to be for the egg noodles here. We're going to stick that out the way, and of course down here, salt, pepper, a bit of evaporated milk, some garlic Parmesan seasoning, which is going to be for the chicken, bit of canola oil, some panko breadcrumbs, and a bit of aluminum foil for the things that we cook. For the egg noodles, we cook first because they're going to sit around for a little bit. Of course, not spoons, forks, whatnot, just to help make everything nice and neat. Mr. Ralph Floto, Melanie and Elizabeth, thank you all for your votes. Laura Ritchie, 2 or 5. Well, sorry, number 3 won out. You have to get them votes in a little bit earlier. Mr. Brad Parks, how is Toronto doing for you? So, we're going to do this, because we have a limited inverter, and the amount of power that I would like to draw is more than the inverter can do. I've asked for a bigger inverter, but it's just, I was told no. I was told, no, you cannot have that. I said, I'll pay for the inverter. I'll pay for the work to install it. You install it. Not a problem. I was basically told no. So there you go. But that's the breaks. All right, so also we're going to be getting out a few pots and pans to do this with. So first things first, which is always the best place to start it. So to those who have not seen the kitchen pantry here, let me turn that off. All right, so this up here, that is the passenger seat. So immediately behind the passenger seat, here is, this is basically my kitchen pantry. My kitchen, period. So up here I have a basket with odds and ends of things that don't fit right in place. Plates, bowls, immersion cooker, graters, odds and end type things sits up there. Then I got a place right here, built this little shelf, sits over top of my printer with basically all my pots and pans sit right here. Kettle, an extra coffee cup, a few things that need to just be put in there. Then, like I said, my printer. Then in here, move these out of the way. Built this cabinet insert here. So all this is 1/2 inch plywood. I got some sliding, shelf, drawer glides, 1/2 inch plywood, a cleat or two, a little bit of effort, got that going. So up here's all my Japanese stuff, a couple coffee cups, got my garlic. Here's most of my canned food. Most of what I do is not take it out of the can and eat it. There's a very few things that are like that. I mean, I got some baked beans in here. I got a few things that are like that, but for the most part, these are ingredients, goes into other things. Plus, I keep my ramen bowls right here as well. Then, got my knife and utensil drawer here. Basically, everything is in there, nice and neat. Here's more ingredients here. So, spices and, like I said, mixes and instant potatoes and pasta and, just whatever can fit in there. Then on the bottom is all those things that are too tall. Syrup, oil, honey, flour, things that are just too tall to fit anywhere else. All fits right in the bottom. Keep our tall, big utensils in the door here, and keep our electrical stuff right down there. But the only thing I had to do was take off the little latch, sits here, and take the door off from that side and reinstall it to get that in and get the maximum amount of space. All right, so there we go. I'll set that right there. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to open this. I'm going to get out my a decent cutting board, because this is basically a bed tray. It's got the feet that pop up on it, but I use that as my primary countertop there. But we're going to start with the thing that's going to hold the best, hold up the best for the longest. So we're going to start with the set. We're going to make salad first. set it aside. Put some aluminum foil over it. Keep it, halfway, from drying out, whatnot. And we'll finish it up with the with salad dressing at the very end. Then we'll do our egg noodles. We'll set that aside, aluminum foil it, keep it nice and warm. It's aside, then finish the chicken because we want that cheese to be melted and the chicken to be really hot. Everything else can go right next to it without a problem. Big Houston, I do not own my own truck. This is a company truck. And, I can't, you know how company trucks are. You can't put holes in things. You can't take things out. You can't change things without their permission. So, kind of what we got to do. So we got a nice little bowl here. Going to get our chef's knife. We're gonna set our hot plate up here first because we're gonna need that first. So get that plugged in. Turned on. So first things first, we're gonna get a pan out here. Blah blah blah. Now in the chef salad, we're gonna have a little bit of bacon. So I'm gonna take a couple pieces of bacon here. I'm gonna put a little bit of bacon into the pan, into the chicken as well. Now, like I said, I don't know if I caught it, but unfortunately, the spinach is missing. We bought spinach yesterday, but for some unknown reason, it is now missing. Let me set that off the side there. So we got our bacon right there. Now, because I'm not in, like I said, my own truck, because I don't have a stand-up kitchen, having to do this sitting down, not really enjoyable for me. I'd rather be standing up to cook. But unless I own my own truck and I can have the extended sleeper like I want, just ain't gonna happen. All right, so we got a hand towel here for our hands. We got wipes to clean things up with. We got a trash bag right there, so we're good to go. I'm gonna take this bacon. We want to crisp this up. And, depending on how much fat I actually get out of here, I might decide to do it in a pan, fry the chicken in a pan first. Or I might do a combination. So, wipe our hands off there first. Set that back there off the way. Nice disinfecting wipe, cleans off the cutting board. Cleans off the knife. And like I always say all the time, be careful cleaning a knife this way. You have to have control so you don't cut yourself on a nice sharp blade. But at the same time, a sharp blade is safer than a dull blade. Make sure your knives, if you have a knife, a chef knife, or any other kind of knife, anywhere in your hands to be used, make sure it's not dull, because a dull knife will do a whole lot more damage to your body. A sharp knife, a cut with a sharp knife is going to heal faster, heal cleaner, be less painful. So we always want to try to be mindful of that. Right? Just wiping this down real quick in case any kind of bacon juice got on the outside. Get that up in the refrigerator. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I could have swore we had the spinach, but I don't know what happened to it. We bought it yesterday. They're at the Walmart in Trinidad, Colorado. So we're gonna turn that down a little bit. We're gonna render this bacon here, a little bit for the chicken, a little bit for the salad. And in any fat we get out of that, we're going to be using. Okay, so we don't have carrots. We don't have a lot of vegetables. So we're just making a side salad, so we're not trying to be ultra fancy here. Okay. I took out a little bit of beef for tomorrow, which we are going to use for tomorrow's rest dinner. So we got a bit of cucumber here. So I like real thin slices of cucumber. I am not a big, let's have a big chunk of it type of guy. So this piece is probably the thickest I will ever make it, but we're going to pare that down a little bit. There we go. So we get a little bit of cucumber, set that on the plate there. Now, I am a very big fan and a big user of the Food Saver bags. They're nice and strong. You can microwave in them. You can boil in them to a point. But we vacuum seal it. Everything just stays a little bit neater and fresher. Just squeeze that air out of there. Get that put out the way. So we're going to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese into the salad as well. We need a plate here for this. Don't like to look at that one. There we go. We'll wash that one in a moment. There we go. So we take our little bit dried out green onion. These are the ones that are going in the chicken. So we're not too worried about perfect appearance. But we'll get rid of that outer leaf here. There we go. So we're just going to trim this up as best we can. Like I said, peel off the outer leaf. We have to slice it here. There we go. Pull out them outer leaves just to, to get to the fresh stuff. Like I said, be careful with the knives. Make sure you know what you're doing. All right. So we got the bacon. We don't want to try to cook this too fast. We just want to get out some of that fat, crisp it up a little, cook it through. All right, so here we got our green onion for the chicken. Just gonna. And the problem with not being able to stand up at a level surface, things will roll away a whole lot faster. So we're gonna set that green onion right there. Turn our heat up a little bit more. Now we get a little bit of green onion for the salad. We're just going to take one out of here. Nice and fresh. Stick that off to the side for a moment. So nice and fresh. But the same thing kind of applies here. Get rid of the root there. Peel off that outer leaf. We want a little bit of that. We want some of this green in there, so we want to try to maximize the green portion as well. About 3/4 of an inch here on the green. Stick that off to the side. There we go. And then for here, last little bit, we're going to slice that long ways because we don't want too much in there. So we're going to cut that about 1/2 inch. And that'll fall apart as we mix it into the salad. So there we go. A little bit more. All right. And the bacon is doing just fine. We got a little bit of celery. Just cut that top off there. You can actually get into it. Now I happen to like celery, so we're going to put 2 stalks in there. And of course, we're going to trim the ends first because we don't want the dried out bits there. Now, with celery, you can cut it straight across, get that shape, or especially when I'm doing a curry, something a little more fanciful, you can cut it to shape like that. Hey, Wonder Wyatt, how you doing? Didn't see you there. So we're going to cut it, on the slant here a little bit. Just get a little more fancy appearance. Makes it, cuts the fibers a little bit differently, so you have a little bit more. You have the crunch, but you don't have it as tough. Right. This will be a very green side salad. We could put a little egg in there, but when you start putting egg into it, that's when it becomes more of a no. Well, technically, no, Big Houston. I was never a quote chef. I have worked in restaurants and kitchens. I did a lot of prep work. I did a lot of barbecue, a lot of pizza. But I just enjoy cooking. And that's the main thing. I enjoy cooking, and being on the road as I am as a truck driver now, I refuse to do, eating at the truck stop every day. I mean, it's okay if you need to. It's okay once in a while, but I prefer to have quality in my food. I prefer to have what I want when I want. Where are you going to go at any restaurant that you can typically get to in walking distance of a truck stop? Are you going to get stuffed chicken breast, egg noodles, and a side salad? You may get that, but it's going to be the way somebody else wants it to be, and it's always going to be more expensive because you got to pay for all that labor. You got to pay for the lights, the pots, the pans, the knives, the waitress. You got to pay for all that stuff. It's just so much easier to do it yourself, in my opinion. All right, so the bacon is mostly done, so we're gonna take a good portion of the bacon out because it's still gonna cook when it's in the chicken. Right? So we're gonna take some of this out. We're gonna continue to. So you see how much we really got in there. I mean, that's really all we got in there. And that's enough for the salad. So we're gonna continue to render that down a little bit. All right. And lastly, for the salad, for the things that we're going to prepare ahead, got a little bit of iceberg lettuce here. Wish you would just put these in bags or a plastic tub. So, like with most vegetables, especially leafy vegetables, the outer leaf just goes. I am not going to worry about it. So, normally you don't want to do this, but I just go ahead and cut it. So we're going to put that into a gallon-size Ziploc. Well, thank you, Hui. we can squeeze it in. There we go. Now, lettuce is one of those vegetables that can always benefit in a bag, especially like this, with just a touch of water. Right? Just to keep the humidity up so the leaves don't dry out. Excuse me. We're going to reduce the atmosphere in there a little bit. That'll keep a little bit better, especially if you don't put it in the refrigerator. If you're going to put it in the refrigerator, it'll do even better. All right, so we're going to just basically slice that in half. Bing. Give it a quick chop. Yep. Clean that off there. So basically all of our greens, celery, cucumber, a little bit of green onion, iceberg lettuce. Like I said, we're going to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese, maybe a little bit of cheddar cheese on there, a little bit of the bacon, and of course our salad dressing. So we're just going to try to keep that. We're going to turn that all the way up, try to get that thinned down a little bit more. So here is so I use the wishbone. This is the zesty Robusto Italian. Good, nice little to it. My world, my way, Helen. Well, that's the thing, when you have to remember that for the most part, this vegetable is still alive. For the most part. Now, if it had its roots on, it was a little bit better treated, it would last a little bit longer, but it's still holding on to the last gasp of life. And if I can help it to maintain that before I eat it, it'll be better for me. It's not doing the lettuce any good, but it's basically for me. All right, so we got a little bit more of a toast on this bacon. All right. So we're going to put that off to the side here a little bit. We want to try to leave as much of that bacon fat in the pan as possible. I'm going to turn that off. I'm just going to kind of slide that, sequester that off by itself there a little bit. So salad bacon, chicken bacon, the onion for the chicken there. All right. So we got that turned off. Good. Okay. So now we're going to get a little bit of aluminum foil here. The box is not cooperating all that much. So we're just going to leave that dry. Okay, here's our salad. We're just going to cover that up. A, so we don't spill it, but two, help retain the moisture that's in there. So we're just going to set that off to the side back there. All right, now we got to find a place to put. We're going to try to get our vegetables back in the refrigerator here. Just going to kind of weed it in any way we can, which anybody and all of us truckers know how to maneuver, to work a tiny refrigerator. So we might get. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, I might get that lettuce right in there. There we go. Good. Okay. So let's clean off our. See, the damn paper towel does the same exact thing. I just eliminate the paper towel. A, I don't have paper towels. Regular cotton towels. I use those to prevent the rattling of my dishes. I use them to, soak up, to wipe things down. The only disposable towel-like thing are the disinfectant wipes. That's the only towel that I have like that. except for a little bit of, a couple of shop towels outside, for when I'm doing work and I'm messing with greases and whatnot. But for the most part, I wear nitrile gloves so they don't, my hands really don't get dirty from that. All right, so we're just gonna wipe that off. Wipe off the blade. And stick that right down here. There we go. Move things around here a little bit. There we go. So we're going to take a towel, like I said here, use it as a trivet. And a trivet is just a way to keep hot things from hitting other things. So we're gonna leave this bacon fat in here. We're just going to set that over here on that cotton towel. This blanket that I'm sitting on here, this is like polyester rayon. It's plastic. So I can't really put anything hot on there. But put the towel under there, then put the hot pan on that. It's not going to do anything to hurt it. All right, so now, set this off to the side real quick. We're going to get a pot/wok. We have a universal lid for it here, 8-inch wok, non-stick. We're going to get that up there. Get that going on the heat. Now we're going to do our noodles and get those cooked up and set off to the side. Then put some aluminum foil over top of that so that it stays nice and warm. And then we will start on the chicken, because that's the most complex thing. That's the one that's going to take several stages and just take time to do. So we're going to leave that for last, because that's the primary thing that we want to have hot and fresh. All right, so we're going to turn that up to maximum. Make sure that's still on. Yes, it is. All right. Get that out the way. And of course, we're going to boil the noodles. A bit of water in there. There we go. And we will find a place for this water after we are done with it. We'll have a place here on the floor right here to stick it. There it's. A couple errant flakes of red pepper there. There we go. So little 8-inch universal lid, silicone on the edge, clear top, little bit there. That'll bring that up to boil just nicely. And if you know anything about, I got 2 of those. I got one from Amazon, Ecolusion, I think it's called. Just type in 8-inch wok and you'll come up with this. I got the first one, loved it. I got me a second one. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of salt here. It's going to season the noodle. And B, it's going to lower the boiling point a little bit. So there you go. So the goat cheese is for the chicken. So here's our standard run-of-the-mill egg noodle. We got butter. We got salt. We got pepper. We got a little bit of evaporated milk. And that's it. Plain, simple, nothing fancy about it. So we'll get that nice and hot. All right. Yeah, looks like we got 12 people here. All right. So, like I said, little treat for the chef. Now here, unfortunately, is a chore I don't want to do, but kind of got to do. There you go. A spoon out here. Yeah, pointed spoon. There we go. So, when I make soups and whatnot, I use Better Than Bouillon. Adds a lot of flavor, and it really really does trick. So I have chicken, I have beef, and I just picked up. Let's see if I got in the door here. Here we go. This one I just picked up, and you can order these on the website yet. But sautéed onion. Now, if you know what this product is, you know it's a real thick paste. But wow, that is an amazing smell. I saw it at the Walmart. I said I'm gonna try it, but that's gonna make some incredible freaking soup. That's gonna make some amazing soup in my opinion. So water's starting to steam a little bit, so we're good to go. But like I said, yeah, use heat. Well, pork chop. Number one, the simpler, the better. Bang. Cook it in either butter or bacon fat. That's a general rule, period. Or grilled. Not too high heat. You don't want to char the outside. You want to get it nice and kind of a golden. Salt, pepper. That's really the extent of any kind of seasoning I would put on it. If you want like a little bit of a western-y thing, a little light, extremely light dash of cumin. And if you really want to get wild, a little bit of chili powder with that cumin, make it kind of a barbecue type thing. But like I said, for me, a nice coating of fat on the outside of the pork chop. Leave that on there. That's all 100% flavor. Not the real tough stuff, the rice soft stuff. Grilled or pan fried in bacon fat or butter. Nothing else. At the very last second, you kind of sear it to get that little bit of a crust on it, but nice and slow. All right, so here our water is boiling. So I'm going to throw in our egg noodles. This isn't going to take long at all. Actually, we're going to take our Instapot. Here's our steel Instapot insert. Let's do that in there. We'll dump the water in this so that because we still need to use the pan to finish off the noodles. But we're still, because it's going to be hot boiling water going in here, we're going to put the trivet down so the heat doesn't melt this little piece of carpet out here. Set that right there. Move that out the way. Move that out the way. There we go. Okay. But like I said, the main thing with doing anything, Houston, is do it the way you like it. More than any other recipe or advice or you have to do this. Do it the way you like it. Me, I like I said, the way I just told you is the way I like it. But when you serve it either with a white gravy, right? Like a cream sausage gravy, serve it with that, plain, or with applesauce. Now, if you serve it with applesauce, and I had this problem here in Iowa 80 the last time we were there, if you serve it with applesauce, warm up the applesauce. Do not serve ice cold applesauce with your hot pork chop. It ruins it. You don't have to boil the applesauce, just warm it up a little bit. Get it above room temperature, closer to the temperature of your pork chop. That way it'll be a lot more enjoyable. All right, so we got a slotted spoon. Nice little holes in there. So we can take the noodles out, dump the waters off, put them back in. Okay? So like I said, I got 2 of these jars here of the chicken, which I need to condense down because I just don't have the space. So. But you want to make a chicken soup real quick, this stuff. Golden deliciousness right there. So we're going to combine these 2 jars. Now, the good thing about this is because it's in a jar, take your hot boiling water, which is what we're going to do here, right? Don't worry about getting the jar super clean, right? As you can see, the inside of that jar, still plenty of stuff in there. We're going to take some of this boiling water here. We're going to put it in here. We're going to put the lid on. We're going to shake it up, let it all melt in there. That'll become a bit of a sauce for us. All right. Get that out the way real quick. Stir those around so they don't get, they're not all stuck together. Always, always test your noodle before it's fully cooked. Okay? A, you're going to test how much done it is. 2, you're going to test how salty it is. That's going to give you an idea of what to do later on. Now, we could have added probably a good deal more salt to this, but we will let it be. So we're gonna put the lid on, turn that off real quick. Put that up there. We're gonna get a small ladle here. All right, so small ladle. Now there is plenty of salt in this, but a little bit of salted water. Take a scoop of that. Dump that boiling water in there. Now I'd say about maybe a third to a half. Set that off to the side. We don't need that anymore. Do it real quick. Clean that off. Stir that around in there. Let that water melt all that paste a little bit more, a little bit better. And if you can see that in there, it's taking on the color. And all that paste is being suspended in that hot water. We're done with that. Set that right there. Now, put that lid on. And take a towel because it may leak. So, and all you do is just agitate it, shake it. So we're getting all that paste off the walls and off the lid and off the bottom of it, suspending it in there, mixing it up, breaking it up. We're cleaning the jar. So now here's the lid is almost perfectly clean. So this is going in to be our gravy. Take that, throw that out the way. We don't need that anymore. So now this one jar now has 2 half jars in it. So we are good to go. That can go back in the refrigerator where it belongs. This will sit right there. But now we have, double duty. He said double. All right, so I'm going to take a little bowl here. Get that lid out the way. So these should be basically just slightly underdone. We don't want them absorbing any more water, so we're going to get them out of the water. There we go. Set that right there for a moment. Get rid of our excess boiling water. Take our handy dandy little towel. Dry that off. We don't want that excess water in there because that'll cause some sticking that we do not want to have. So I'm going to turn that up to about medium temp. And I had some butter around here. Ah, here we are. Helps to know where you put things. Some nice soft butter here. Thought I had another spoon here. So, there we go. So nice little spatula. Nice softened butter. That's a little over half a stick of butter that I'm putting in here. And no, I'm not afraid of fat. Not afraid of butter. We'll stick that up there to keep that back cold. So we're going to melt this butter down. A, it's going to lubricate the pan by putting the butter in first. B, it's going to melt the butter. It'll be easier when the butter is all by itself. There. Oh, ready. So while we're waiting for that to melt, we get started on our chicken a little bit here. Move this out the way. And that's part of the problem with being in a truck, not having a real full kitchen. You have no room to do anything. So break out the old cutting board again. Here's our chicken, 2 chicken breasts. Like I said, this is a little over 1.5 pounds. So around 3/4 pound for both of them. Let me get this up here where I can use it immediately and do less spilling. So these are fairly large chicken breasts. Get this in here so it doesn't leak all over the place. There we go. All right, butter is getting rid of its water. That's what the bubbling is there. That's the water that's still in the butter boiling off. So when you know exactly when butter is fully melted and ready, the bubbles will stop. Right? So now we're going to take our egg noodles. Throw those right on in. We're going to use our little grinder here. A little bit extra salt. Bit of black pepper. Get that all stirred up and mixed up. There we go. Get that set out the way right there. And the thing that I like, which is not a common thing at all, a bit of evaporated milk gives that creaminess. Especially when you do a full mac and cheese and you have that cheese in there, this makes it nice and creamy. Right there. Set that right there for the moment. Get that butter and that cream to mix up in there. It'll thicken up a little bit. It'll adhere to the noodle. Make a nice little buttery sauce, nice and creamy. So I'll let that cook for a moment. Clean off our little container here, little can opener here. Right there. That off. Put that in there. Nope. Good. Push that away. Now, get another towel here. There we go. Another clean towel. We're going to dry off our chicken. This towel is not going to be used for anything else, so don't worry about it. Right on the floor so we don't use it. just give this a stir now and again. Yep. So we're just going to take our knife, nice and flat. That's going to be the edge on, right into the chicken. Now you have the round side here, which is the part that's out towards this part out here. The cut side here is down next to the bone. We want to cut on the bone side here. So we're going to plunge our knife in, not all the way through. We're going to open up a nice little pocket like that. Right? I'm going to go in. We're going to make some slits. Get this right here. That's going to let the heat flow a little better. It's going to let this be stuffed a little bit easier. Don't try jamming all the way through. Just do it real nice and easy. Now, like I said, I do not know where the spinach went. So it's a mystery. We're going to cut this little piece off here. Stick it off to the side. Try to keep these a little bit more even. So plunge it in. Flick it around. Open up that pocket a little bit. Score on the top. Score on the bottom or two. There we go. There we go. So nice open pockets. Just like that. All right. That is done. Let's turn that off. Now we're going to set that. We're going to use this bowl here that we had the noodles in already because it only had water and starch on it from the noodle. Yep. Now a little bit of cheese wouldn't hurt there, but I really don't want cheese in this one, so we're just going to set that down there. There we go. And of course, we need a little bit of the old aluminum foil here. Just keep that nice and hot, keep from drying out. So now we're going to take a little bit of our garlic parmesan. Right? Just going to put just a tad on the inside. Not a lot, just a little dusting. Set up to the side. We're going to come back to that. It's going to go on the outside as well. So take a little bit of onion. A nice little line right down in the cavity there. Try to make it nice and even. Don't want to try to overstuff this. This isn't a a Philly cheesesteak. You don't want to overstuff it. Good enough. Take a little bit of our bacon as well. There we go. Got a little more bacon than we need, so a little bonus for the chef. Okay. Well, if Christina gets back soon enough, she might. So we're going to take, we got the just little plastic sleeve. We're just going to take a dollop out. Not going to worry too much about it. We're going to kind of roll it and stretch it out here. We're just going to use our hands. Just use our hands just like that. Okay. We're going to put that dollop right in there. Just like that. A little bit messy, but whatever. We're just going to clean it off right there. Another little dollop. Stretch it out there. Scoop it up. Go right there. Put that up to the side. Put that up to the side. Put your hands real quick. Wipe that off real quick. We're not trying to be neat and pretty. We're just trying to get it done. So now we're going to kind of mush this in here. Maybe a spoon might help, or a fork. Try to jam it in there while trying to close up the chicken as well. And we're going to use the goat cheese because it is fairly sticky. The goat cheese will act like a little bit of glue. So that's going to just help to close it up a little bit. Just like that. Now this one was a little bit better cut than that one. There we go. So there's our two, chicken breasts. Now, I'm going to turn this pan, I'm going to turn this heat back on here. We're going to do a little bit of pan fry here while I have a little bit of chicken here. So this little extra piece of chicken, just going to mash it down. I'll just throw it in there, munch on it while I'm cooking. Now we're basically just going to kind of sear the outside of this a little bit. Then we're going to put it into a bit of put a bit of breading on it with the panko breadcrumbs here. We need to get 1 egg so we can do an egg wash. Then we're going to put the breadcrumbs on it. Gonna be good. Gonna be good. That will move out the way here. Now, some people would see bacon like this and say it wasn't done. Sorry, I don't believe that one little bit. We're going to dredge this one in a little bit of the bacon fat here. No sense wasting it. Right. Waiting for this to get nice and hot. And that's another advantage of taking this little piece of chicken here. We can test it before we put the big pieces. Before we put 2 big pieces in, make sure that's nice and hot, getting the sear on it. A little bit of test piece here, makes it a little bit better. So we're gonna, like I said, just a little bit more dusting of the garlic parmesan seasoning. Not a lot, just a tiny bit. We don't want to overpower everything. We just want to have it all going together. Almost there. So it just needs a little bit more temperature. But that little small piece, it didn't start sizzling right away, which I wanted. But it started good enough, so that's why we use a little piece like that. Just cut it off, make these 2 pieces a little more even, and we can go from there. Like I said, we got our nice, still very hot water in here for our gravy. Put that down there. Put that out the way right there, I think, for the moment. Just trying to take a bit of a moment here and organize as best I can. Put things away. This plate was a little bit dirty, so we're going to wash that, wipe that clean. Right, out the trash. Got a good wipe off. And the air dry will take care of the rest. All right. King and Queen stacking. Josie's place. Miss Josie, how you doing? Hopefully California isn't too bad for you this time of year. There we go. So we're going to set that off to the side. We're going to take our chicken breast, the seasoned side down. With that bacon fat over a little bit more. There we go. There we go. A little bit of splash out, which we didn't want, but it's okay. And unfortunately, The truck is leaning a little bit south, a little bit downhill right at this point, so not perfect, but good enough. All right, so give that a quick wipe. We don't need the cutting board anymore, so we're going to wipe that clean. Make sure you get the edges. Clear towel here. There we go. Get that put back into its proper position in the cabinet. If things are falling out, because there isn't enough room. So that, get this out the way. Here we go. I think we are good for the cabinet, so we shouldn't need anything else, I think. That there. There. So we're going to go ahead and set up our panini maker here. Get that out the way so it doesn't actually touch it. There we go. So when we're ready to bread the chicken and get it in here, we'll be good. Right. Goes over to the pad. There we go. And I think nice little color on there. You know what? I think we made us actually forego the breading. I like the way that's looking the way it is. We're just going to forego the breading. Executive decision. Hey Margaret, how you doing? All right, we're just going to forego the breading part. This is looking good as it is, a little bit better than I thought it would be, which I will accept those kind of happy accidents. So we're going to use another pan. There's a little bit of a lid. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. There we go. Well, hopefully, you get your goat cheese, a little bit of bacon, a little bit of oil, Weber garlic parmesan is the seasoning I'm using on it. A standard soft goat cheese. Put that up there. We'll put that right there. And I think we're good to go with that. It's why not? Sometimes, you get a little happy accident. It's looking better than I thought it would. So we're just going to let that just get that nice hot temperature in there. So I think we'll go with that. So let me get myself organized here. What do I do with my oh, here it is. Okay. So I got the salad ready. Got the noodles ready. We're waiting for the chicken to cook. And then once the chicken is done, we can take that out. We can make a little bit of a gravy, a little bit of a sauce to go on top of that. And I think we'll be set. I think we'll have a somewhat nice dinner. Always cross those fingers. Like I said, the salad. We'll go ahead and get this mixed up here because it's not really anything more than just a few veggies thrown together. Celery, a little bit of green onion, a little bit of cucumber, and some lettuce. Making a mess as it goes around. So there you go. I think we can go ahead and add the bacon to it. Bacon is a little bit crispy. And just a touch, not a whole lot of bacon. We got a little bit of Parmesan Now, normally I don't like it in a bag, but we'll add just a little bit of Parmesan. Just a skosh, as they like to say. And I'm going to add a little bit of cheddar as well. Why not? Now, these are all Kraft cheeses. I would prefer a real hunk of Parmesan cheese, but like I said, we're not going to try to annihilate it with any one ingredient. We're just going to, there. A nice boiled egg on top would be good. Scratch and sniff. Yeah, that'd be nice. Smell that all the way in the UK and in Oregon. Right, DJ? Right? Oh, okay. And like I said, we got, where did I put it? Oh, it's down here already. Right? I'm going to take a little bit of black pepper. Now we're going to turn this so it's a little bit more coarse, because this grinder has adjustment there. So we're going to put a little bit of coarse, freshly cracked black pepper. Maybe a little finer than that, I think. There we go. Okay. And of course, we're going to use our Robusto Zesty Italian. Nice, got a good bit of a spice to it. So we're going to use that on the salad. I don't think we need these plates anymore. We can stick those out of the way. We got our noodles. Still nice and hot. The aluminum foil is doing its job. We're going to use that aluminum foil on the bottom just to help retain even more heat. There we go. All right. So the chicken is still needing to cook all the way through, so it's going to take a few more minutes here. Turn the heat up again a little bit more. Just be on the safe side. And now, like I said, we can worry about kind of cleaning up and putting things where they need to be to a certain extent. Now, I was going to take a little bit of egg wash them, and then roll them in the panko breadcrumbs. But the way they were looking like that, I just made that, hey, let's just pan fry them. Why not? I'm going to stick this in a little, we'll find a little baggie for that. But like I said, overall, not too difficult a dinner. Now, it would have been better if I had the spinach, because the bacon would have been in with the spinach and wilted that down. The goat cheese would have been mixed in with the spinach, melted a little bit, then stuffed into the chicken breast, then fried up. But c'est la vie. I do not know where the spinach went to. I remember I bought it. It got into the truck. Where it went after that, I don't know. The black hole, mysterious, where things disappear in this truck, I know. It, granted, 7.5 foot wide, 6.5 foot tall, 5.5 foot front to back for the living area, and things get lost. Where the spinach went to, I don't know. Now, the side salad here, like I said, we're going to throw a little bit of Italian dressing on there. And we're going to enjoy. All right, that chicken is really doing good. We may be flipping it over. We'll take a look at it, see how it does. Turn that down just a little bit. Now, the thing with this little hot plate, it's not that accurate. It's not that easily to control, but we make do. We make do. So, on a salad, a nice little cube of the of lettuce like this. Put it on a plate real quick. Put a little bit of a slice of cucumber right on top. One little piece of bacon. A little bit of cheese and everything else on there. But if you want a simple appetizer type thing, cube up your lettuce like this. Put a skewer through it to hold it all, and put all the other a slice of cucumber, slice of tomato, real thin stuff. We're gonna a couple of drops of the Italian seasoning on there. Cucumber with a little bit of that cheese, a little bit of piece of bacon. So one of them frou-frou $4,000 4-star Michelin French restaurants where they make everything super fancy. You can do it yourself right here. So, as I like to say in France, bon appetit. In Italy, mangia mangia. In Japan, itadakimasu. Nice little bite-sized treat. That's looking good. You got a little extra piece of chicken out there. That's to the side. Gonna get out a little bit of a spoon here. There we go. Move this out the way because we need that. There we go. Set that there. Take a little bit of that bacon fat right over the top. Just like you do a turkey on Thanksgiving or roast beef or anything else like that. Get that flavor on top, get it moist. That's a little too small. Turn that back up. There. Set that off to the side. So now we can take, give me a fork here. It's a knife to cut. And it's so easy to lose stuff in a small space. And like I always tell new drivers that I talk to, I said, you have to be diligent. You have to be on top of your game, keeping your truck clean. Because you let it go one day, it turns into a week, and then it's even more work. And it's harder to clean a small space than a large space because you got to move stuff so you can move something, so you can actually clean and then move everything back. And you got to do that repeatedly all over the place because you just don't have the space. So we're going to take a little bit of chicken here that was not, not stuffed. A little bit of that salad there. And of course, go right on the floor. There we go. Cut that up real quick. Toss a little bit of your Italian seasoning on it. Chicken salad right into there. Bing, bang, boom. Place that. Yeah, Christina's in the old TA here at Albuquerque. She's doing some laundry. Get a shower while she's doing that. Now it is 4. We did start 4 o'clock here in. So it is a little bit earlier than normal for dinner, but Looking good, looking good. Goat cheese is melting a little bit. So in a few minutes, I think we might be done. We'll take it out. We'll give it a quick cut. See how it looks on the inside. If it looks like it's done, bing, bang, boom. So, little appetizer for the chef. Well, anybody can come to the truck stop, use the showers, use the facilities here at the truck stop. So, you know, some of the rest areas, very few rest areas, like in Ohio, I think in Pennsylvania as well. Some of the rest areas on the interstate highways, some of them have showers that you can use. Some of them are free for the truck drivers, but I think if a non-professional driver wants to use them, I think they have to pay there. I've never used it, but there you go. All right, so we're going to take another little sprinkling of the garlic, Parmesan. Okay, just an extra tad, just to brighten it all up. Get these cucumbers separated there a little bit. There we go. So we're going to go in, take a look at the thickest part of the meat. So we still got a little ways to go there. So we got a little ways to go there. All right. That's the part of the fun of cooking. Sometimes you just don't know. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and flip this over here once. Got some nice color there. There we go. Cook a little bit more on the top side, and I think we'll be done soon. Smells good. Like I said, it would have been better had I had some spinach, but no spinach. So plans change. There you go. Forgot what I was about to say. Oh, okay. Here we go. So we've been here at the TA in Albuquerque near, was it Douglas Avenue, I think it is. We are just about half a mile away from where I'm delivering, which since they were not open Saturday, not open today, had to hold my little skid loader until Monday. So Monday morning, make our delivery. We'll come right back here to this truck stop. Where we will, just sit here and wait unless we have a load immediately. Which I don't know. So we'll see. Mr. Gilkey. Well, first of all, you got the right first name. That's number one. You got the right first name. Secondly, in a truck. Driver's seat. Driver's side. Cabinet. Inverter. It's just a matter of wanting to do it. I love to eat. I love to cook. I enjoy it. And that's probably the biggest thing that gets a lot of people. A, they don't enjoy it. B, they don't like the cleanup process, which I even like doing the cleanup. It's all part of it. Oh, that's looking good. Like I said, each chicken breast is about 3/4 of a pound. Bacon, a little bit of goat cheese, a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic and Parmesan Weber grill seasoning. When those get done, we're going to make a little bit of a sauce. Well, there is that, but use that time to formulate, see what you think is right, what you know how to do, and just do it. I mean, I've never had a trainer on a truck. Never. I was lucky. I started with a company that didn't do trainers, didn't see the need for it. You know, if you're old enough to get your CDL and be able to do that, you should be old enough to be able to handle everything else. And that's my opinion, but these companies here, trainers, and they wind up being bad drivers to begin with, but that's my opinion. Neither here nor there. But while you're on somebody else's truck, you definitely have to, deal with that. But try to stay away from, the fattening stuff, the carbohydrates, the chips, the cookies, the pasta. Try to stay away from that as much as you can. I'm not saying don't have it. I mean, I eat my share of pasta. I mean, I have a pasta maker on the truck. I mean, I make pasta, There, it pulls out here. I make pasta on the truck. I'm not afraid of carbohydrates. I just minimize them as much as I can. So, but I definitely know what it's like starting out in a brand new truck with no money, basically being forced to eat out every day until you accumulate those things like pots and pans and having an inverter and having a truck that'll run and having the storage space for everything and having the ability to do all this stuff. That is looking good, my friends. Looking good. Let me put that off a little bit. But you can see that cheese is starting to melt out a little bit. Get some of them brown bits off the bottom there. That is almost done. All right, so take our salad out the way here. Move that to the back. There we go. Get a plate here. We actually got to get 2 plates because 2 servings here. We're going to take one there. The other one out. There you go. So, we got the bacon fat. We got the little brown bits on there. All right. So now we're going to make a quick little gravy, a nice little sauce, as it were. Of course, my Wondra flour was all the way at the back. So we're going to take, along with the bacon, the fat that's there. Wipe that knife a little bit. I'm going to put about a little over an ounce, just about an ounce of butter in there. That's there. All right. We're going to melt that butter in. You're going to get a wooden spoon here, so we can scrape up those little bits there, keep them from sticking, get them up into the butter, not just the butter on top of them. Going to take a whisk. Oh, you have to go. I'm sorry. Well, hopefully. Well, that's the big thing with the with trainers. The vast majority of them are not training. They're just using people to get more miles, and they don't actually teach anything. Well, you know, blah blah blah. All right, so bit of Wonder flour. Now that the butter's kind of melted, we're gonna whisk that in. We're gonna make a little bit of a roux. And a roux is nothing but a thickening agent to make the gravy a little bit thicker. All right, so we're gonna cover this other chicken breast while that melts in. Okay. There we go. Got that covered. Stick that out the way. So we're gonna keep whisking this. You're basically going to add equal parts of flour to your fat. Now, the more closer you get to being equal, the better. Now, you typically want to do this on a little bit lower heat. You don't want to burn it. You don't want to burn the fat before the flour is all incorporated. You want every little granule of flour to absorb that fat. That's what helps to cause it that thickening. And Wonder flour is pretty much the best for this because it is a very finely ground flour, not your regular flour. It's a lot finer. It's like, you know, half the size, or even less, each grain, each little granule is than normal, you know, flour, right? So now we got our better than bouillon, a little bit of chicken. Yep. See how nice and yellow that is? Probably can't tell on the camera, but there you go. Nice and thickened up, and we'll add a touch of water just to thin it out a little bit more. Don't worry about it, you know, you can always rescue a little bit. There we go. Turn that heat off. We are just about ready. Just about ready. Here we go. Okay, so we got our plate here. We got our chicken. Grab some of these noodles here. We'll just use tongs here. You gotta loosen them up a little bit because, you know, they're not coming fresh out, but a little bit stuck together. But we're gonna plate that up right there like that. That right over there. Boom. Got a little bit of a salad here. We're just gonna manhandle it. We're just gonna take our hands and throw it right in there. Why not? Yes, things are gonna mix and mingle. I'm not gonna worry about that. There we go. Got to make some concessions when you're on the truck. Like I said, a little Italian seasoning. For the salad, there we go. It's a nice, thick gravy here. Right on the chicken like that. go. Got me a fork. Got me a knife. So like we like to say, bon appetit, manja. Let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. So a little bit of egg noodle, a little bit of cream sauce, stuffed chicken breast, goat cheese, bacon, little garlic herb seasoning to it, little side salad, and dinner is, as we like to say, served. Can be done. You don't have to be a professional chef to do it. I am in no way a professional chef. I'm just a schmuck who likes to eat. That's how you get this sucker right here. No drugs, no alcohol. Only a few other stupid things I've ever done, but most of them never too stupid. But I love to cook. I love to eat. Those are my vices. So there you go. Bit of the chicken, some decent color on there, a little bit of the gravy. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. And hopefully it stays warm enough for when Christina gets back, so she can have a little bit. She's not going to eat a full plate like this, like I am, but I'm going to have a good meal. Now, we got ourselves dinner made. Now for a problem that I have to address and try to figure out how to overcome. This is my internet connection right here. Right? Most everybody's seen, a little hotspot thing like that. This is connected to the AT&T network through a company called Unlimitedville. Been very, very happy with them for over 2 years. Cellular connection, LTE, 4G LTE connection. Works great 99% of the places I ever go. Have no problem. But I was just recently informed that the distributor of the AT&T, whatever kind of arrangement they got, unfortunately is not able to continue AT&T service through Unlimitedville. So I have to find a way to get internet. Now, they have other plans with home units, which I don't know if it's going to work in the truck. I have to ask and see. Well, have a good night, Margaret. Will do. So I may have an interruption in internet with the live streams. Probably by the end of this month. So either I change my phone plan, pardon me, and try to get a hotspot through the phone, which I don't currently have or ever needed, or I get a different unit that's more of a home unit and try to put it in the truck so it doesn't, go out, doesn't get broken, or I go with a different service that'll let me use this. Hey, Mr. Ross Romes, how you doing? So, I got a little bit of work to do. Perfecto. Mr. Ross Romes, how you doing? So let's let you know, probably by the end of this month, I may get one more, maybe two more, Sunday dinners done. The live streams may not go out during the week as like they used to. And like I said before, I will do what I can as I can. But dinner number 12 was pretty good. so far a success. Thank you all for coming. And like I said last week, for lucky number 13, dinner number 13, if you can tell me who this character is and what show he's on, the person who gives me the first answer I will make your choice of dinner, as long as it doesn't require an oven. If I can do it without an oven, I will do so. Now, Mr. Ross Roams has an unfair advantage. My World Helen, she has an unfair advantage because this is a show more popular in the UK. Now, Ross, I'm going to have to give you a 7-hour delay before you can answer, to give the Americans and anybody else an opportunity to answer, because you do have that unfair advantage. So I got to give you that little bit of a handicap. But if you tell me who that character was on the mug, I will make your dinner as close to the way you would do it as I possibly can. Except I do not have an oven of any type, save for a covered pan. So, or using an Instapot. So whoever can name that character and what TV show it's from, and even name the actor who played him, I will make your meal. You tell me what you want to see made. I will do my damnedest to get all the ingredients and find out a way to make it and make it. And hopefully, I'll like it. I'm not going to promise that I will like it, but you know what. So, stuffed chicken breast tonight. I'm going to have me a little sit down here, have me a nice little dinner, and then spend the rest of the night cleaning up. Hopefully edit another video here and get that uploaded. No, Mr. Ross Roams. We'll see if anybody actually gives me that answer. Otherwise, next Sunday, if I don't have an answer by Friday for who that is, I will go ahead and post 5 more dishes on Friday for the number 13 meal. Otherwise, like I said, whoever tells me who that is, I'll make their meal. So, warning about the internet going out at the end of the month, possibly, unless I can figure out how to do that, and we will go from there. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who participated. I forget where my little booklet was, but we had 4 votes for the stuffed chicken. We had 1 vote for number 2, 1 vote for number 1, 2 votes for number 5, 1 vote for number 4. So thank you all for participating. We'll try to come with something new and different next week as well, and we will see what we can do. So it is now 5:35 p.m. here in Albuquerque. A nice, pretty good day. Thank you very much, Huawei. Well, I appreciate it. And we're going to hopefully have a good dinner as soon as she gets back from the laundry and shower. Hopefully she enjoys this as well. I like it so far. Instead of yapping, I probably should be eating. So, a little bit of bacon, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of onion. So let's get a nice little bite of that. A little bit of tang from the goat cheese. Mixes well with the bacon. Well, thank you, Melanie Elizabeth. You too. Huawei, Mr. Ross Roams, TJ, Margaret, Brad Parks, Wanda Wyatt, Robert Gilkey. Let's see. My World, My Way, Helen. TJ Jones, Miss Josie out there from California. Always nice to have you, ma'am. I do appreciate it. King and Queen Stacking, always a pleasure. Big Houston, thank you for coming in. Laura Ritchie, thank you much, ma'am. I do appreciate it. Let's see here. And I think that's about it. So, hopefully you all can try this. If you're in a truck, definitely. If you're in a house, definitely you could do a lot better job than I can because you can take a little more time and do those things. Otherwise, I will say, Old English comedy character, Mr. A. Yes. Alistair. I'm trying to remember my British sitcoms. The only Mr. A that I remember is Arkwright. That's the only one I really remember. So, oh well. Well, you need to test me on my comedy, my British comedy. It's been a while. I mean, I got the Father Ted on here. Steptoe. Oh, what's it from? One Foot in the Grave? No, that's not one. Not One Foot in the Grave. I'll have to get on your channel and go through them. Need to do a tour of British comedy shows. That I'd definitely be watching that one. I know the name. I can't remember what show it's from. I want to say One Foot in the Grave, but that's not correct. Steptoe and Son. I'm trying to remember the show. I just don't remember the show. Oh, well. But other than that, I'll have to look that up on YouTube, take a gander at it. But we will do what we can. Have a good evening, everybody. God bless. Have a good, safe day. Hopefully America gets its crap together and we decide on the legitimate president of the United States. And we'll go from there. And hopefully we don't embarrass ourselves on the world stage. But we'll do what we can. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be doing a little bit of Facebook in the morning, live stream, and a little YouTube in the afternoon. I don't know if I have a load yet, so blah, blah, blah. Wednesday, Friday, maybe next Saturday. We'll see if I do a cooking video on next Saturday. And, of course, Sunday we'll do Sunday dinner, depending if I get an answer on who this fine gentleman is. All right, so thank you very much. Have a good night. God bless. And keep your bellies full.